Don't lose that regulation, Ron.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Board of Health meeting of May 1st, 2023. Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available shortly hereafter for scheduled and on-demand viewing on any smartphone or tablet device. If anyone is recording this meeting, please notify the chairman. Pursuant to Governor Baker's July 16th, 2022 signing of an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state emergency, including the extension of March 12, 2020 and July 15th, 2022, orders suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general law, Chapter 30A, until Section 20 until March 31st, 2025. This meeting of the Chatham Board of Health is being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling the number 508-945-4410, and the ID number is 912-519-15#, or join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this is a live broadcast and simulcast on Channel 18, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide for real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. And I'll turn the meeting over to our chairman, Dr. Noble Hanson.
It shall be the policy of this board to conduct its meetings under the open meetings law so as to encourage public participation whenever time permits and as part of agenda item discussions. We have just two items on the agenda today. So first we'll establish a quorum, and when I call your name, just say present. Ed Sheehan?
Present.
Ron Broman?
Present.
John Beckley?
Present.
Harold Boyce?
Present.
And Noble Hanson, I'm present. Our first item is a variance hearing and approval of IA technology for Philip and Lori Dumas, 67 Palmer Drive, Clark Engineering, and Mr. Clark is here to present the case.
Yeah. Good afternoon, David Clark, Clark Engineering, on behalf of the Dumases. What they're proposing is to demolish the existing dwelling and build a new dwelling and adding a bedroom. Pursuant to your nitrogen loading regulations, they're required to offer IA technology as part of the system upgrade. As usual, a system, a three-bedroom system with treatment introduces less nitrogen to the environment than a two-bedroom system without. If there's any questions on the plan or the building design, I'd be happy to answer them.
So there are no variances in terms of the new septic system being
No,
put in place?
they designed the house around the septic system, so
Okay.
that fully conforms.
So it's an existing two-bedroom dwelling, and now with the installation of IA technology, they're going to construct a three-bedroom dwelling. Any questions, comments from the board?
I was a little bit confused about the floor plan. On the first floor in the very front, what is that space? You almost seem to have to walk through.
Looks like a little foyer with closets on both
There's
sides.
two, you go
Or kind of a
through the
mudroom.
two closets and then you come into a long skinny room there?
No, that might be a porch. Is there a porch?
Yes, there
Yeah,
is a porch.
and then there's the front door, so you walk in
Oh,
straight ahead.
okay.
And there's a closet on each side.
When you walk in the house, you have a closet on the left, a closet on the right, and you're standing on the porch. And that's why
Yes.
the second floor says front porch. That's the
Yes.
cover of the front porch. I was thinking, how will you have a front porch on the second floor? And then at the back of the second floor, are those stairs going down?
No, that's just a little deck,
Oh,
a
it's a
sitting
little-
area
it's just
for the master suite.
Okay. So I see the three bedrooms. All right.
And there's a downstairs office, but it's truly an office with built-in desk and,
Okay,
There's a 6-foot opening,
yep, that's cased.
cased opening for the office.
yes,
Where's the other one?
And the basement is just a basement.
there's no plans to finish it at this point.
Okay,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
all right. All right, that's the questions those are the questions I had.
Okay, if there aren't any other questions or comments, is there a motion? Oh, we can- Is there a motion on the variance? To approve? Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
And Judy can read the conditions?
So the motion to approve with the following conditions. The applicant should restrict the property to a maximum of 3 bedrooms and record the restriction on the deed at the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds and submit a copy of the executed deed restriction to the Health Department. The applicant shall sign a covenant with the board agreeing to comply at such time as the town of Chatham, through its Board of Health and/or Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners, directs the connection of this property to the municipal sewer when it becomes available. The covenant and deed restriction, 3-bedroom deed restriction, shall be recorded at the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds. Throughout its life, the system shall be under an O&M agreement, and the O&M agreement shall be for at least 1 year and may be with any mass-certified operator of the appropriate grade that has received training by the company on the operation of the system. Effluent from the system shall be monitored at least twice per year for the first 2 years, preferably May and October. The effluent shall be field tested in accordance with Mass DEP standard conditions for secondary treatment units certified for general use, revised March 20th, 2015. In addition, a lab test of the effluent for total nitrogen to meet the performance standard of 19 milligrams per liter shall be collected and analyzed by a certified lab. Water meter readings are to be provided with the semi-annual report. If any field tests or lab tests fail, follow-up tests shall be conducted by a certified lab and an evaluation by the operator within 30 days. After the required 2 years testing, application can be made to the Board of Health for its review and possible modification. Possible modification of the monitoring requirements. The applicant agrees to apply a minimum of 6 inches of compacted topsoil to all disturbed areas of the property. The engineer shall submit an engineered as-built plan, including as-built elevations with a written certification that the system has been installed in accordance with the approved plan. No alteration of the floor plan of the dwelling or the engineer's site plan will be allowed without further review by the board or its agent, and this variance is granted pursuant to the State Environmental Code, Title V, and the Town of Chatham Subsurface Sewer Regs, is valid for 1 year from the date of the Board of Health approval. A permit must be issued and work commenced during that 1-year period, or the variance shall expire. That's it.
Okay. I think we can probably take a voice vote on this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, are there any public comments? Okay, and we'll take a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say no. Okay, so that variance passes.
Thank you
we're all
very
set.
much.
Dave, I've got a question. In your experience, when a house has invested in an IA system, and then the sewer comes by, and they're invited to connect, what generally happens? Do most of them connect anyhow? Or they wait the 10 years because they want to get the full benefit?
I haven't come across one yet,
Where that's happened?
yeah, where that's happened, yeah.
Really? Okay.
If it was me, I'd hook up as fast as I could.
Even if you put in the IA 3 years ago, you
Yep.
would just go, do it? Okay.
Because you're paying O&M on this. That's more than the sewer cost. So
Okay.
you're losing money.
Okay. All right, well, that's interesting. Hadn't thought about it that way.
And it's only going to be expensive, more expensive 10 years from now, so.
That's the other point, right? Over time, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, second item on the agenda is an update on 32 Mill Hill Road, John McGrath property. And Judy, do you have an update for us?
So we formalized a DEP site visit for this Friday with two people from DEP, one from the solid waste group and one from the wetlands group. So we'll be going to the Mill Hill Road property and the Barn Hill Landing property. So that's Friday morning at 9. And we'll hope to get some, comment and feedback from them, and then they'll move forward with an order to correct. But they were hesitant to do that because nobody there had seen the issue because the previous person had retired and didn't really fill them in, I guess, enough. So it's a good positive step. Hopefully Friday we'll have.
Was it the enforcement person or Whiteside? What was the gentleman's name who was here?
Whiteside was the,
Field rep.
he's the one, the field person who retired.
He's the one that retired.
Right. So
Okay.
now we've got two, and since then, we've added the Barn Hill Landing section of it. So they're gonna, and someone from Conservation will be there as well, so.
Do you envision a single NOV covering both sites or two separate notices?
I'm not sure. That's a good question that we'll have to ask them.
Okay.
I would think probably two different because it's two separate
Site-specific.
and unique properties, yeah.
Is it Mr. Whiteside's direct superior that you talked to before, I think? Or is this some higher, or do we know?
I'm not I don't think it's a superior I think it's people that work there and they're,
Next level up?
perhaps, maybe just the same, field type
Okay.
inspectors.
And is Mr. McGrath expected to be there or not? Is he-
We're gonna notify him. I gotta let the Chatham PD know that we're going out and let him, so they can let him know that we'll be there. We don't plan on going on his property. And then when we get to Barn Hill Landing, we'll stay in the right of way.
You don't think the reps are gonna wanna walk around?
I mean, if we can get permission for them to go on the property, they might, but I told them they could see, especially on
What they
Barn Hill.
need to see.
I mean, on Mill Hill, what they need to
So
see.
this is not a question of the DEP reassessing what they've done in the past. This is just a question of them wanting to get eyes on the sites where the policy decision has already been made to proceed with
Right.
enforcement action.
Right, they didn't want to send the enforcement until their staff, who's presently there now, sees it and can
Understands it.
confirm what's going on and understand it, yes.
Okay,
But nobody has probably seen the Barn Hill Landing property.
true.
This will be
Right.
their first time.
Right,
And then you,
and they have copies of all the order letters, all the photographs we've sent and everything.
then somebody from the board can go and observe.
Yep,
I was there for the other ones, I'll probably will go, and then Carol had said she might go this time, or John wasn't here last week. We just can't have three.
right, so you and John can duke it out.
If you want to go, I went last time, you want to go, go. I'm fine with that.
All right, I'll remind you and put it out there.
Okay, but we'll just, yeah, so we'll plan. Yeah, Bron,
Can you see his other property from a road?
which,
Can you see his property from a road, the beach property?
Barn Hill?
Yeah.
Well, his place is off an easement, kind of a dirt road, but you can see it from
can see
Barn
it.
Hill Landing, the parking lot.
Because I went down that and I was trying to look and
You can walk right up to it.
It's
Yeah.
it's the kayak rental business.
yes, I saw that and I thought that was it.
There's a little
Yeah,
dirt road there, you can walk right up the road.
And that easement road goes to all the shanties down there.
okay, thank you.
Okay, that's,
So, that's it.
update John McGrath, we're all done there? Yep, okay, and then, I think, we can go, anything else anyone wants to bring up briefly? With nothing else on the agenda, we would go to the, minutes next.
Can I just bring up?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if you all saw the letter of support I sent out, Sorry, Bree Smith, who's a navigator for Outer Cape Health, had sent this to me last week, asking for this letter of support for a new program they're trying to to get going at Monomoy Regional High School. It's a school-based service site where they'll have mental health providers and navigators at the school, and they're trying to get a grant for it, so they just need letters of support from the towns, Chatham being part of Monomoy District. So I told her I thought that you would be in support of this, and this was a letter that she sent me, so I can make it our own, and
I say completely support that. I mean, I have a daughter, and the level of anxiety and stress among the kids today is remarkably high,
right.
particularly for seniors. I used to think the senior year you could skate a little bit.
No.
No, it's the opposite. It's incredibly stressful. So yes,
Yep.
They're not asking for any funding.
Not at the moment, but I do have, and I haven't updated you really, but I'm working on the opioid settlement funds. I have a working group that I'm working with community members, and I actually have Outer Cape Health coming to our next meeting to discuss the programming that they have. And, we'll bring this up too and see if there's any way we can support this as well. So, yeah, there may be some need for that. But the group is doing well. We've met with a lot of different agencies, Duffy Health Center, Outer Cape Health. We've talked to Barnstable County Substance Advisory Council, and we're just trying to narrow down best ways to go forward with the money that we're receiving. The town's going to receive, $300,000 to $500,000 over the next 18 years. So, so it's a.
So the idea is they'll be hiring a person who will be in the school to provide the service?
No, it said telehealth, didn't it?
For this, yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
Or it's an outside entity that comes in under
No, it said telehealth,
Kelly Health?
I think that would be part of it, yes.
for therapy and medical.
Yep, I think they'll give navigator services as well, so, yeah. But the things that we're looking at for our substance abuse group would be like peer group, and navigators to help kids, find services that are needed as far as opioid and substance use issues, and mental health issues surrounding that, so.
has the scope of the opioid epidemic narrowed in recent years as these lawsuits have gone through and they've taken
Well,
action?
I mean, this is just the beginning of it. As
really?
far as the money is just starting to come in. It started to come in 2022.
But the scope of the problem is still very,
But the problem, I think, it's probably gotten worse since COVID.
really
Yeah, and so it's a huge issue, and Cape Cod is very highly
affected.
affected by it, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Ron, did you have a question?
Yeah, I taught for 36 years, and I was at the beginning, started teaching, it began with marijuana, and those years I was teaching, I could see it just getting down there and down there. And there was really no help for the kids, there was no place they could go, to talk to, or anything like that, so I think this is a great idea. They do need help. They really
Yeah, so there's money out there, all the towns are getting the money, and everybody's looking at different ways to spend the money and work, regionally as well. So having a regional school system, it's a good place for us to look at spending some of these funds.
So, and I would certainly support the letter. Should we take a vote on that, or do you, just to,
It wasn't on the agenda, so I would just say, letting me know that you support it, and I will put the letter together and sign it in your name, and that's all. I think that's all. You don't need to
I
vote.
think we all strongly support it. Anybody who doesn't strongly support, yeah, so we all strongly
And
support.
I'll copy you all on the letter.
Okay,
Great, thank you.
all right. And then I guess any comments from the public on anything? I don't think so. And then we have minutes from,
Excuse me, we can't do the minutes because the 3 members that were here last week are not to vote on it.
So you don't have a quorum.
You don't have a quorum.
oh, I see, you don't have a.
I can't vote.
No, you
Right.
can't.
And Ron wasn't
Ron
here,
wasn't
and
here.
Ed wasn't here, so
So.
we'll have to table
we'll have to
those.
Table those to the next meeting.
All right. And if we had changes or suggestions, we'll bring them up next time?
Oh, no, you can do that.
I had a couple, just a quick things on page 6, second paragraph down. Also concerned with inspections and fees. Noble Hanson explained that the regulation gives permission for regulation if a problem. I think it's for inspection if a problem. And then registration is first with a $50 fee, and down the road, the inspection would be done, no added cost. That was the question. Was there a second fee for the inspection? And there's not.
Okay.
So I think these may be looked at pretty carefully, so those two I would add. Okay, all right, so we'll do the minutes next meeting. And any other comment, issue, problem, question from the board? If not, we can get a motion to,
What was the meeting we were gonna skip? July 3rd? Just wanted to, I'm gonna be out of town, and so we were hoping maybe that we'd take
July 3rd.
we'd take a break.
I find whatever your discretion there, you know,
It's the
based
day
on,
before the 4th of July.
because we,
Okay,
yeah, we
we'll
had our-
just make a note that we'll
big item is out of the way for the moment, so,
cancel that,
We'll
yeah,
cancel that meeting.
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
We're meeting with Park and Recs too?
Yes, yes, May 25th at 9, I think I sent you.
At the
did I
top
send
of the
you-
steps.
Yep, I sent you an invite, so there'll be some Park and Rec people there and.
That's on the
and us.
beach, the beach walk.
Yep, beach walk, Lighthouse Beach.
We're gonna get a ride in the little vehicle?
I don't think, we didn't last year, so. John and I went flying off
We
the
went
back.
flying on one of them, yeah.
What? How many people are going? If it's a quorum, I have to post the meeting.
Just let me know if you're gonna go, and if so, we'll post it as a meeting, if we get more than 3 people, so.
It's just a walk of Lighthouse Beach, and they go over their routine things. There's not much for us
It's
to
no
do,
big
really,
deal to
except just
post
to
it,
sort of
that's no big deal.
officially be there.
I just like the idea that we're meeting with them, you know, because I was the one involved when we closed the beach down, and this all came about.
Yeah,
So I think it's a good, to protect us, we meet. I think it's a good thing.
yeah, so let me know, the week by the end of next week maybe, and so we can post it if we need to, if there's more than 3 of you, so,
Okay.
that's it.
I'll make
Okay.
a motion, we adjourn?
And a second?
Second?
Record time.
And then we can take a voice vote on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say no. Okay, we are adjourned.